The Sharks hosting the Melbourne Storm to kick off round 17. Both teams without their origin stars. Even Nicho Hynes, who was meant to line up for Cronulla, went down with COVID a few days ago. Despite missing probably their best player, the Sharkies put on a dominant performance over the Melbourne Storm, who for the third time this year have been dominated. And if they didn't come back in the last 5 minutes of last week's game, it could have been a fourth domination of the Melbourne Storm. They're in some real trouble, Melbourne. I still think that they're the most likely team to beat Penrith come finals time, but they have so many injuries, including some more ones. To Chris Lewis looked like he was rocked at one point. The young winger Anderson, it looks like he's going to be gone for a while, and Kenny Bromwich, probably the biggest one they lost tonight. It wasn't a fun trip to Cronulla, the same that it wasn't a fun trip to Manly last week for the Melbourne Storm. Just quickly on that Brandon Smith sin bin, we will have to wait because the media, knowing the media, they of course will release what exactly he said, but for the referee to come out, I think he said to Jerome Hughes that he couldn't repeat it because of because of the referee microphone. It had to have been bad. I mean, Adam G, yes, he made some bad calls tonight, but that's NRL refereeing at this point. No need to go into that any further. For him to stop playing and just sin bin him straight away. Brandon Smith, I love him. There's a lot of controversy around him because when his team loses, and we saw it last week against Manly, he tends to fire up. There could just be a bit of passion, but there isn't an ugly side to cheese that comes out when he is frustrated, when Melbourne are losing. And it sort of came out. Now, I don't want to condone what that fan said to him either, but Brandon Smith trying to go back out of the sheds to go and blue with that fan as well. Wasn't a pretty look for Melbourne, but I don't think Craig Bellamy ought to be too focused on that because you thought that after last week Melbourne would come out and they would put a clinic on, but they're in real trouble. I know a lot of people got high on them at the start of the season. I still always thought that Penrith were the number one team in the competition, but I didn't think it was by this much. If they play tomorrow, Penrith could honestly put 50 on the Storm. They know they're missing Munster. He's a big loss. They're also missing guys like Remus Smith, Xavier Coates, and Felice Kaufusi is another big one. So, look, I'm never going to write the Melbourne Storm off. I think it's fair to say they're nowhere near the level that they used to be at, but they did have three of the best players of all time in their positions. So, obviously they're not going to be the same team. As for the Sharks, look, it was a complete masterclass without their best player and arguably their best forward. Both Toby Rudolph and Nicho Hynes are out, and they still pumped the Melbourne Storm, which despite any team, were giving Manly all their flowers last week, this performance was definitely better than Manly's. And I thought Melbourne played better than they did last week. It was a very hard-hitting affair, but Cronulla's ball movement around the ruck is phenomenal. Not only did they outmuscle them there, but they just outskilled them there. And also, their defense. They got back to what was working to them at the start of the season. I know a lot of people did predict this from the Sharkies, but Craig has done a brilliant job. Warning signs for Melbourne, though, but Cronulla fans get excited, cementing their spot in the top four. Look, with the Roosters still struggling, I think they might be the best team to go on with that. Maybe Parra can push them, but Parra need to learn to win back-to-back games first. Guys, we are on the way to 3,000 subscribers, so please, we're only about 4 subs away, so if you are new, please smash that subscribe button. You can always change your mind later. Comment your thoughts down below on the game and the sin bin, and of course, smash that like button if you enjoyed the video.